Hey there, welcome to In Game Live, brought to you by Nissan, Amy Fadool and Ron Jaworski. And we've got one half in the books, Jaws. You saw the really impressive field goal there by Jake Elliott. That thing could have been good from about 65, but he made a 58-yarder to tie things at 10 right now at the half. Offense a little bit sputtering at times. They had a decent little drive there at the end to get in field goal range, but some miscues and some just kind of maybe uncharacteristic kind of drops, I feel like you saw from that offense.
A very intriguing first half football between obviously the Eagles and the Chiefs. But by the way, someone's got to check these K balls, these kicking balls. They are like,
right?
That was a 58-yard field goal. It went up in the stands.
Yeah, it was a huge
The Cowboys
boot.
had a 66-yard field goal. I mean, everyone's bombing field goals, it seems, nowadays. But it's making the game interesting, and get to the 45-yard line, you're in field goal range. So,
I know.
But I found it very intriguing the way the game played out. I thought it'd be more wide open. It seemed like it was more of a punch rather than a punch counter punch. Steve Spagnuolo is bringing everything but the kitchen sink, and we're not getting explosive plays. Normally, when defensive teams blitz as much as there's usually a win-loss, and if you get home, you win. If you don't, you give up a big play. And we haven't taken advantage of the number of blitzes that Spagnuolo and the Chiefs have come with. I think eventually we'll catch up to it. I think Jalen's seeing them. I think Kevin Patullo, the coordinator, is seeing them. But he's not calling the right plays, and we're not checking to get to a bigger play. Because when you bring a blitz like the Chiefs are bringing, you got one-on-one on the outside. You got Devontae Smith, you got A.J. Brown one-on-one with nothing but green grass. And you got to go to a max protection rather than sight adjust and give him an opportunity to run routes deep down the field and give Jalen Hurts a time to get back in that pocket. They're going to bring one more than you can bring. You let the furthest removed from the quarterback come free, so you're going to get about 2.5 seconds. Now you got a shot for the big play. So I think they've been cautious against the blitz, but I think they've been pretty cautious the whole first half, even with the play calling and the execution.
Yeah, it seems like it's been, obviously we were talking about how much they were going to try to feed the receivers. No Dallas Goedert, and we know that A.J. Brown had that one target and one catch last week. A.J. Brown already has 7 targets, 5 catches. He's at 27 yards, but that goes to what you're just talking about. Yeah. The longest pass play was to Devontae Smith for 13 yards, not exactly like a burner type there. And then A.J. Brown only an 8-yard for his longest. So they're not able to get that kind of – is that separation that Spags is bringing as far as – what they're trying to do in the back half of that defense?
I hope I'm not seeing a pattern here, because last week against Dallas, there was only one ball down the field. John Dotson got one big. That's the only ball thrown deep down the field. There was one deep ball thrown today to Smitty, and they nullified. Well, they first called pass interference, but then they said okay, and it was the right call, by the way.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be aggressive in throwing the ball down the field when the blitz is on. Those are your chances for big plays. If you see them, and Jalen's seeing them, it seems like their sight adjustments and their audibles to those are quick slants. And the only way the quick slant's going to work if you catch it and break a tackle.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are doing a really good job of tackling. It's been a really well played first half from a defensive perspective, but I expected more from both offenses. But of course, I probably shouldn't say that, because knowing Kansas City had both number 1 and number 2 wide receivers out, you knew they'd be a little bit limited. But Kelsey's made some plays for him. And Travis has come up and made some big plays, and it's going to go down the wire. I guess this is one of those 28-27 like I predicted.
Yeah, that's exactly what you call it. And it is absolutely shaping up that way when you see it. It's 10-10 at the half. Got to talk about the run game, because we talked in our pregame show how both Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes can absolutely bring the ball down and scramble. And you're seeing Patrick Mahomes do exactly what he does best at times, and he makes those scrambles. He had that one that was 20+ yards. He's got 60 yards right now on 5 attempts. That's pretty impressive. And then, of course, he has that touchdown. They need to get a little bit more pressure up front, I would think, because he's able to do that. How can they?
And you said scrambles from Patrick Mahomes. Some of those have been designed, quarterback draws, quarterback trap. Now, the one for a touchdown was a pure scramble. But I think for the most part, the rush has been consistent. It hasn't lost their integrity of their lane rush. They're collapsing the pocket. They've got some hits on him. I think that part has been good. And Vic has been bringing some blitzes as well. So both teams are like, hey, we're both going to blitz. We're going to get after these quarterbacks because they can beat us. I'm just surprised that neither team has developed a consistent passing game.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're just not calling many of them either. So that's probably the reason why. I think we've been like 28 plays in the first half for Chiefs and 27 for the Eagles. So it hasn't been an up-tempo kind of game. It seems like both teams are letting the clock run down to like 2 and 1 second to get in the right play. A lot of audibilization at the line of scrimmage, a lot of checking at the line of scrimmage, and the clock is going tick 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 tick. Going, and we've had a couple. Each team's had delay game penalties. So in that regard, I think both teams are playing it very close to the vest.
You're looking at that one sack that was Zadarius Smith and Andrew Bakuba, which was great to see because this is a defense that didn't record a sack last week. Yeah. So you saw those guys, Zadarius Smith, we talked in the pregame show, like, oh, he just arrived here. And you're like, your job is to hit the quarterback, see quarterback, hit quarterback. And he's been able to do that. So you talked about, a little bit about them getting home. Do you think that there's some adjustments that Vic Fangio has to make in order to get those guys just a little bit more pressure?
I don't think so. He held them 10 points, pretty explosive offense. Their offensive line's dinged up a little bit, but Zadarius came in and made an immediate impact in the run game and the passing game. And he's that kind of player. He's a wily old veteran. He's 6'5", 275 pounds. He can play with his hand in the ground. He can play standing up. He can blitz. He can play. He's a very versatile type player. He can rush the quarterback, which is a bull rush. He's got quickness of speed. He's a veteran player with a lot of moves. I mean, when he was in Green Bay, he was getting 12.5, 13.5 sacks. So he's obviously not going to get the number of snaps each game that he was getting when he was in Green Bay and Baltimore and other places. But he's a pure football player. He's big. He's strong. He's got all the moves. It was a great acquisition by Howie Roseman. I think Zadarius Smith will really help this defense.
Well, speaking of the defense and sticking with that theme, we were all going to watch Adoree Jackson. We all know that he did not have a good game against the Cowboys. They've been targeting him a little bit, but also you mentioned Travis Kelce. Here's a guy that is so reliable. I know that he's older for football, 36, but you see that he's got the 2 catches, and they were big ones because it's 34 yards, but they were really important as far as where they needed to go for positioning down the field. He is that kind of guy. Go ahead.
You could just see the intelligence of Patrick Mahomes.
And that connection
and Kelce. I mean, I'm going to find you. You get open, I'm going to find. They have that chemistry. It's the unspoken chemistry that you develop through years and years of playing together, years and years of practicing together. Yeah. You could sense the 2 big plays they had were both. I think they were kind of like broken routes, but he adjusted the route once he got into space, and all of a sudden made the right play. So. When you get guys like that play that long together, they're going to present some problems for you.
Yes, they are. So something to watch in the second half is getting ready to start. Make sure you guys obviously tune in for Ron and I, along with Barrett and Rube and Jason Avant for Eagles Post Game Live. But that's going to wrap it up for this edition of In Game Live, brought to you by Nissan. For Ron Jaworski, I'm Amy Fadool. Thanks for joining us.
Big second half coming up.